We often hear about the beauty of awakening, the blissful clarity, the rising consciousness, the lifting of the veil. And yes, there's truth in that. There is a moment where everything feels illuminated, life gains color, meaning returns. But what we rarely talk about is the storm that comes before the light. Because real awakening, it doesn't begin in the light. It begins when everything starts to fall apart. The path to self-awareness is not a gentle stroll through serenity. It's a dismantling, a descent. It's the unraveling of everything you thought was true. When you awaken, you don't just find peace, you find chaos. You meet parts of yourself you didn't even know existed. And not all of them are pretty. See, we tend to romanticize consciousness as if it's some magical upgrade, a spiritual badge that lifts us above the noise of life. But that's the first illusion. Awakening isn't an escape. It's a confrontation. It's not about bypassing pain. It's about feeling it fully, without filters, without distractions. The pain doesn't disappear. It intensifies. But so does your capacity to hold it. That's the paradox no one prepares you for. We don't just wake up to universal truths. We wake up to the truth about ourselves. Every belief you've held, every identity you've built, every shadow you've shoved into the corner of your mind, they all come to the surface, one by one, like ghosts demanding to be seen. And that's when the real work begins. Awakening cracks the ego wide open, and the ego, it doesn't go quietly. It fights hard. It tells you you're special. It clings to your spiritual progress as a trophy. But awakening isn't interested in your self-image. It wants your authenticity. It wants your surrender. You begin to see the game. The way the ego dresses itself up in sacred robes, repeating mantras while secretly feeding its hunger to feel superior, to feel enlightened. But true awakening humbles you. It breaks the pedestal you built. It whispers, "You are not above the world. You are of it." And here's where the darkness sets in. This phase, often called the dark night of the soul, feels like a collapse. Everything that gave you comfort dissolves. Everything you relied on for identity disappears. You feel lost, empty, disoriented. But this emptiness, it's not a curse. It's an invitation to face what you've avoided, to sit with your insecurities, your grief, your guilt, your rage, to meet your shadow. The shadow isn't evil, it's just hidden. It holds the emotions you were told not to feel, the desires you buried, the pain you never processed, and whether you acknowledge it or not, it shapes your life from the shadows. Most people try to bypass this work. They chase positivity, chase the light. But the more you resist the shadow, the stronger it becomes. The key is not to run from it, but to turn toward it. Because when you face it, you reclaim power. You retrieve lost parts of your soul. You begin to see that what you feared was actually fuel for your growth. Anger becomes clarity. Fear becomes courage. Grief becomes depth. This is integration, not perfection. And yes, it's hard. You'll question yourself. You'll resist. You'll want to go back to sleep. But once you've seen through the illusion, there's no unseeing. There's only forward. Your relationships will shift. You'll realize that the people who trigger you the most, they're not your enemies. They're your mirrors. They reflect the unacknowledged parts of you. Carl Jung called it projection, where the traits we repress in ourselves show up in others. And when you stop blaming them and start listening, your pain becomes a path to self-awareness. Awakening isn't the end of suffering. It's the beginning of responsibility. And as your consciousness expands, your ego will try to sneak back in. It will wear the mask of wisdom. It will try to claim your progress as proof that you've made it. But real awakening is never a destination. It's a constant death, a shedding. It asks, can you let go again? And again, and again. And every time you do, you return to something deeper, more honest, more human. This is the unseen side of awakening. It's not about escaping the world. It's about walking into it with your eyes wide open and your heart even wider.